Good morning. I am late. I am trying to get the video file. I don't know why I cannot see myself. I'm trying to get the video file of Jen Soto's interrogation. Evidently, I have it. What is going on this morning? Hold on. I cannot see myself on the stage. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Okay. There we go. Now I'm getting somewhere. So, I have found the video file of Jen Soto's interview, and that's what I'm trying to get on here. But it's 58% loaded on my phone, so if nothing else, I will have it on my page later today. I am going to upload it, and I'm downloading it from my video file right now. I have tried to get it on my computer and give the file a minute to load, but it's not letting me open the file. So I'm going to try to get rid of Stephens. Okay. Audio here. Right now, I'm trying to get rid of Stephens' video to see if maybe that'll work. Lord of mercy. Like, I don't understand why it won't open on my computer, but I have it on my phone. This is horrible. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the stream with let me do the kids and my intro real quick because that's important. I have to do that. And then we'll get the show started. I'm going to continue to work on getting the video file out. I have it on my phone. I thought about trying to show it from my phone, but I really think that would kind of suck. Plus, I'm going to have it on my YouTube channel later as soon as it gets done downloading from my video maker, and then I can upload it onto YouTube. So if nothing else, it'll be there. I do apologize. I'm trying. Sometimes stuff won't load from my computer, from onto my computer for whatever reason. Lord, my rabbit's going crazy now. This morning is just already crazy. Sometimes files won't load onto my computer, but they'll load onto my phone. And it's loaded on my phone. I've actually got it on my video editor and uploading, but I can't get it on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and show the videos and then continue working on trying to get the video file downloaded while we listen to the audio. For now, here are the missing children. This video is older. I need to make a new one, but we'll go ahead and check it out.
is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Okay, so, and Jen, I know that you just got here. I did find the video file for Jen Soto's interview, and I'm trying to get it to download on my computer right now. I have got it exporting as a video file from my phone, which I'm going to upload to YouTube. But I'm trying so hard to get it to come to my computer right now. I thought about like trying to hook my webcam up and show the video from my phone, but I don't know that that would work because it's like small, the audio would be wrong, all of that. So if nothing else, when you get done watching this live, just check later today, because as soon as it'll upload on YouTube, I'll have the video file of Jen Soto's interview. I've got 23% of it downloaded on the computer again. It won't open it when I download it on my computer for whatever stupid reason. So I'm trying it again. If I can get it to work that way, I'll show it during the live. If not, like I said, just check my channel later. I'll have the video file on my YouTube channel. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start the audio file I have of it. And if I can get the video file to work, I will stop the audio file and we will put the video file up. I'm going to put an overlay so we're not just staring at my media player thing. Yep. So we'll go ahead and start.
Reference Orange County case 24-013113. Today is February 28th, 2024. Time's approximately 15:49 hours. Detective Acosta, located at Central Operations, conducting an interview with Jennifer Soto, and President is Detective Killis.
Are we going to the budget
Most likely.
Okay, that hasn't started yet?
I'd have to check. I do not know. I've been out here. Doing okay? Holding up all right? No, I know it's not. Back to this, let's go see where he's at.
Yeah, you should be ready. I just gotta. I need to test that connection.
Which one?
The USB connection.
Over here.
So just to reiterate, we're listening to this now and I'm working on trying to get the video file. I've got it 99% on my video app downloaded. I'm about to start uploading it to YouTube, but the Stephen Stearns video took like 5 hours yesterday to upload to YouTube. So as soon as it gets done uploading, it'll be there.
You take a seat wherever, man. So like I told you, my name is Detective Police of the Sheriff's Office. This is
Detective Acosta.
you're
Thanks.
Jennifer, correct? And then I'm assuming, is that what I understand?
Yes, but he's actually on his way to Florida.
Okay.
So that's redacted. I just want to remind everyone that the 3 hours that we saw yesterday where Stephen was waiting in the room and laying his head down, this is what was happening in those 3 hours. So if we do it in chronological order, this one is first and then Stephen's. So it's going to be interesting to hear what the police had already found out from Jennifer before they entered the room with Stefan. I just pushed play on it, still redacted.
He recently moved back down in December to Northport, Florida.
Okay.
His dad had offered him a job, but it fell through.
Okay.
So he's kind of stuck down.
When it does that, it's redacted.
We are waiting for, he used to work at Disney.
Okay. What did you do at Disney?
He worked in attractions at Epcot.
Okay. And
We have to wait.
what was the job that his dad was trying to get him? Do you know?
It was like construction manager, or like an assistant construction manager, or project manager, something like that, like an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Okay.
That fell through. So we were waiting, we have to wait a specific amount of time for you to reapply to Disney again.
Okay.
From when you resigned.
Right.
So we're waiting for that time for him to reapply again so that he can come back up here.
Okay. So how often does he stay at the apartment with you guys?
So he was living with us up until December.
Okay.
And then he's visited us since December twice or three times since then.
And how long does he usually stay for?
Anywhere from a few days to a week.
Okay. And then he goes back down there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming he stays with his dad when he goes down there?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has he been in town recently?
He got into town Sunday evening.
This past Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was staying with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then
So
they're very similar. They're both.
that part was redacted, but Jenny just said, if this is the one from March 1st, man, does the detective grill Jen for still prioritizing Stefan after seeing the CSA pictures. Yes, from what I understand, I haven't listened to it yet, but I do believe that is this audio, because the video file I have where I saw they were talking about how the detectives grilled Jennifer is the same scene as the video file I have. That was one of the main reasons I'm trying so hard to get this video file pulled up, because I want us to be able to see the body language and in the room and see the detectives actually grilling her. That's why I'm really kind of irritated that I can't pull it up on my computer yet. But yeah, I think supposedly the detective really lays into her, which she deserves.
Both very childish. He loves board games, video games, arts and crafts, all that
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
I'm kind of a watcher.
What do you mean?
I won't play the games. I'll watch them play the games.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be
I
a
see what
part
you're
of
saying.
it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
But he's more involved with that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Okay. Do they ever go off on their own? You kind of do your thing and the two of them do stuff together?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever?
It's for the most part, it's the three of us doing something.
Gotcha. And then when he stays, does he sleep on a couch, separate bedroom? What's the sleeping arrangements like?
It depends. For the most part, he would sleep upstairs in the guest room, sleep in my bedroom downstairs.
Okay.
Sometimes he would come sleep in the bed, all three of us together.
Okay.
And rarely ever would I send them upstairs to go sleep alone, away from me, because I need a good night's sleep. Because if we sleep all the three of us together,
Oh, I can only imagine.
it's a king bed, but it's
Well, she's not a small baby anymore.
no, she's not. So it's just three humans on a bed is really uncomfortable, really tight.
About how often was they would go? You would send them off on their own.
I would say honestly, somewhere between, I'm going to say less than 5 times has this ever happened, right?
That's
It
fine.
hasn't been that.
And this
many
is over the
times.
course of him visiting back and forth, correct?
You mean the sleeping arrangements
Yeah.
down alone?
Yeah.
No, that was including him living with us.
Oh, okay.
Hardly ever would I send them upstairs, because I had that rule that she couldn't sleep alone with him. That's just me. I'm just
Right.
very.
And then you said,
I do have it currently uploading to YouTube, so I'm working on it. I did get it downloaded, and now it's uploading to YouTube. The one on my computer is at 91%, and I'm going to try to open it as soon as it gets done. All right, back to the audio. They redacted this part.
So you're pretty familiar with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose hand does that look like to you?
I would say that's Stefan's.
Is that Stefan's hand?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So you and Stefan, have you guys been sexually intimate before in the past?
Yes.
So you're aware of what like his penis looks like and things like that, correct?
Yes.
Does this look like Stefan's penis to you?
No.
No. Okay. What about that?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that's his penis?
Might be.
Okay.
If anything, it's not even the penis I'm recognizing, it's the things around it.
So it's the things around it that make you believe it's his penis?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have these images, and unfortunately, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been doing oral sex, vaginal sex, and things like that.
What makes you guys?
We have photos.
Okay.
We have his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting various sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay? Okay. Can I get you anything?
Maybe some water.
Some water? Just have it if you want to. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I can't breathe.
Is this a surprise?
Is there photos of her?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you know how we have his phone? Obviously, that's how we were able to find the photos in there.
I don't want to believe that this is true. Can I see some of that evidence?
What makes you believe that it's not?
I'm sorry, that's Solo. That's not me. It appears that the file might have uploaded. So I'm working on trying to pull it up on a video player now, or my video editing app, something. I'm trying to get it. Yes, Jen says, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe to join our speculation family. I love it. That's awesome, Jen. Thank you.
I thought I knew him well enough.
You said you thought you knew him well enough?
So our goal, we want to find her. Can you think of anything of where Stefan would take her? Did they have any special hangout spots? Did they have any places that they would do together while you were at work or you had other things going on in your life?
The only place they would go is hang out at home. There's no place I can think of that they've gone outside. I mean, they've gone shopping to like Target before.
Okay. But but anywhere else that you can think of. What are you thinking about right now?
How this can be true? How I missed the signs?
What signs are you saying you missed?
No, like I'm just saying, if there were any signs, I didn't see any.
Right. Like these aren't, and I'm not telling you, like, these aren't just Google images that we found. Like, these are actual images. And I don't want you to, don't. But this investigation has taken us down this road. So wherever you think right now, we want to know so we can go get her safely.
Of course, I just have no idea.
Did Stefan ever take her back down to Newport, Richie?
Newport, Florida.
Newport, Florida. I'm sorry.
Alone, no.
Alone? You guys would go together?
Yeah, or I would drive down, just hang out.
Okay. So when Stefan would not stay at the house with you guys, where else would he stay?
In his apartment in his house in Northport, Florida. That's it.
But when he would visit here, he would always stay in your house. He would never go get a hotel or stay at a friend's house or anything like that.
No, he's here.
Okay. Why did he go to Newport, Florida this morning?
This morning?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. I heard a rumor that he possibly went down there.
No.
I don't know. Them is maybe lost in translation.
No, he didn't. We were.
I got it. I got it. Yay. Finally. So let me take this overlay off. I have got like a ton of things to do. I have to go to a doTERRA event with my neighbor at 9:15, and I have to get in the shower before that. So I'm probably going to try to let this play for as long as I can, and then we'll have to finish it later. But like I said, I'm uploading it to YouTube right now. So if you can't wait until later, feel free to go check it out on my YouTube. Thank goodness. Like, I was so frustrated. All right. So I'm going to change my thumbnail and we'll just watch this. Unfortunately, we'll have to re-listen to the 10 minutes we just heard, but I'd like to see it on video anyway. And let me show this from the lovely Jenny. Thank you so much. I love the name. That's a great speculation family. Awesome. All right, I'm going to hush now so we can listen. I'm just talking away. So I said, Jen is on top of it. She said, remember the day prior on February 29th, she was shown Maddie and Stefan's car, the pictures and videos, and she mentioned the Woody Allen effect. And yes, that was the day that she was told, she said Maddie looked like she was sleeping, and the police were saying, no, she doesn't look like she's sleeping, you know, basically trying to tell her nicely that she's more than likely deceased. And she didn't have the right kind of reaction. We went over that in a past live. I need to get my notebook out. I have a notebook on Sebastian Rogers, but there's just so much drama in that case. If you don't have a notebook, I don't know how you're keeping track. I need to get my notebook out for this so I can remember the dates, because I'm not remembering the dates correctly. Luckily, Jenny is here to help me with that. But yeah, let's keep that in mind, that she was shown the day before Maddie in the car, and she said she looked like she was sleeping, and the officer, as kindly as he could, tried to tell her, no, she doesn't look like she's sleeping. And Jen mentioned the Woody Allen effect, which is where he fell in love with his stepdaughter, and when she turned 18, they ended up getting married. Kind of like the same thing going here, except unfortunately Maddie didn't make it to that age. And I hope to God that wouldn't have happened. I think Maddie was starting to pull back and didn't like it, and then there's two major motives here. But let me hush and we'll watch the video.
Told me. My name's Kevin. I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I already met Detective Smallwood from Kissimmee. The goal, obviously, Kissimmee Police Department's doing most of this investigation. We're at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Our people, we have resources out there, obviously doing active. So it's kind of a joint effort. So Detective Smallwood's kind of, we're going to go read through the timeline of everything else. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to go from there. All right.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah,
Is that what
we'll start with Sunday. Take me through Sunday.
Okay. Sunday. Here's that tissue.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, grab some. So actual tissues?
That'll work.
I can give you this whole roll.
So Sunday, birthday party. She spent the whole day at my mom's house. We celebrated with the whole family. I was at work. I just started a new job last week or the week before.
Okay. Where's that at?
Walt Disney World at Coronado Springs, front desk concierge.
Okay.
I was finishing up my last day of, no, it wasn't even my last day of training. I was still in the middle of training. Sunday in the middle of training, I couldn't miss to go to her birthday party. So I went to work. It was my family all day. She had the best day. She was so happy when I got home and I saw her. At my house around 8:30 that night. I wasn't home. She got dropped off alone. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Stefan showed up.
At your house in Kissimmee?
At my house in Kissimmee, he called me. Or he texted me, I don't remember. But he let me know he was there and that she was getting ready for bed. She was doing her routine. So she took her nighttime meds and she got in the shower to get ready for bed.
What meds? What does she take?
She takes hydroxyzine.
Okay.
Jenny coming in again. You're so awesome. So she let us know the current interrogation is right before the press conference, and the tip of Stefan changing his tire comes in. Thank you so much, Jenny. You're so awesome. If I'm ever able to monetize, I will have to pay you for all your hard work because you're on top of it. Thank you so much.
What is it for?
It's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Now, could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you know that?
That's what he told me.
That's what he told you. Okay.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were already at the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually seeing, watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill while, but I'm like, no, I need to watch you take them.
Has there ever been an issue with that in the past, where she took too many or took the wrong thing? Or
No.
just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought in my mind, just me being hypervigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her grab two, take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many, or she took. My biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds because I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different and not being myself. Like I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again that I've been medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep. Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed, and she typically sleeps on one side, and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stefan to take her to school in the morning.
We'll go to Sunday. So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And like, how does it put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep, or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy. They help me stay asleep, and they help me function. So I'm stable all day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Zifrazidone. I took my meds, and then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs. I think he may have come down at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male.
Okay.
Yeah, so he uses my restroom. Sorry, where did I
You're fine. Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight, to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or where I think they went to sleep.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up. The sun was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy when I got up. I was kind of drunk. But he came in to walk the dog, to put the leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate if you put the leash on him too directly. You have to like be nice and talk to him. Yeah, he's a very he's a nervous dog. Yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, "No, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this." And I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been getting ready. But it could have been Stefan. It could have been any of my roommates.
I've got to take a phone call, so I'll be here and I'll be watching. But I'm trying to just let us listen. I think it's weird how she was crying in the beginning, but now notice no more tears.
I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of awoken up based on him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never
That morning.
Monday morning.
No.
So the last time you would have been Sunday evening?
Sunday.
Okay. You're fine.
I want to see her. Yeah.
Take a minute. Okay? While you take a minute, I was going to ask you earlier, has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this to talk about had anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
My best friends have all been in contact with me just to try to help me. There's like, setting up Facebook groups, flyers.
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen.
Did
I've been
he-
avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, texts, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have the phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
What's your password on it?
030288.
030288. Okay.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday's tomorrow. Right.
Today's the 1st. I didn't even know. Today's the 1st. This is the worst birthday ever.
That way they can get that going so we can get it back to you before we're out here. We don't keep it from you.
Okay.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday, you wake up.
I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45, and I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh wait, I'm on my phone.
When we get it back, we'll go back to it.
It's, if you need to Google it, it's the LabCorp across the street from the Loop in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my appointment. I finished there sometime between 11:15, 11:15. Then I headed home. When I got home, Stefan was there. I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident. School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no. Because that was the plan, was that they were gonna stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast.
Okay.
He said that he had gone to the vape shop and they were closed and they didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was gonna go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking. He was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair, just messing around on his phone. While we were hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I should probably update it now." And I said, "Do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with." And he updates his phone and then tells me, "Oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone." And I said, "How the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone?" He goes, "Yeah, apparently I wasn't paying attention and I just pressed the button and it happened." And I said, "Oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks." Later on, he tells me he's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still
Okay.
Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30 so we can get together. He left. I hung out in the house for a while. Was waiting for 2:30 to roll around. 2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling Stefan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, "I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave?" And I said, "About 10 minutes ago." He goes, "I'm so sorry. I missed it. I really wanted to go with you." And I'm just like, "It's fine." I figured he wasn't going to make it because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them. He told me while he was gone that he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. The wheel just shredded and fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pinched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger. I
want to touch on something real quick. When you were calling him,
he eventually tells you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Only if I'm doing laundry.
That was all. I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call him that day.
I didn't. So he tells me all that. I get off the phone with him. I'm waiting. I wait for about an hour and 10 minutes. 4:04, the bell rings, and I'm waiting. I'm the first in line. And she doesn't come out.
You were in your car?
I was in my car,
Nissan?
in the car line, yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it's been a few minutes. She should have been out by now because she's usually one of the first kids out. She knows I'm in the front line. And I'm holding up the line behind me because there's kids getting in the cars behind and they're all waiting. They can't get around me, right? So I start calling her, forgetting that I have her phone on me. I had found her phone earlier that morning. She had left it at home. And I brought it with me because she does this often. She does leave her phone.
Where was the phone at in the house?
It was on top of the dresser in her bedroom.
Downstairs? I never been in your house.
Downstairs.
Okay.
So, just so you know, I have a 4-bedroom townhouse.
Okay.
The living room has a partition in it, a fake wall kind of thing. That's got her bedroom in it. That's got a bed, a dresser, and a desk on it. Does she sleep there? No. She'll hang out there. She'll use her computer and hang out there. That's her hangout spot. But she primarily sleeps with me every night in my bed. That's because I know the roommates wake up super early in the morning. They're going to be in the kitchen. They're going to wake her up if she's sleeping out in the living room. So I don't.
So your bedroom downstairs, her makeshift bedroom downstairs, guest bedroom upstairs.
Yes.
Got it.
Her phone was on her dresser. When I found it, I was like, oh my God, she's putting her phone again. That's great. I brought it with me to the school because I was just going to yell at her and then just hand it to her so she could have something to do on our way home.
I had to step away to take a phone call, but look over here, Jenny's on top of it again. She says if Jennifer sent them to bed at 11:30, then why would she text Stefan around that time given he wasn't upstairs yet? That is a great question. I wish we could talk to Jen and ask her a few things because I think the public has a few questions. Things just aren't adding up.
On our way home. 4:10 rolls around and she's still not out, or 4:09. And then at this point, I'm feeling the pressure from the cars behind me. I'm like, okay, they're all full. They're all waiting for me to leave and she's not here yet. So I take off and I'm thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her I was picking her up from school today because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working. I don't know if she knew if I was off. So I asked, I don't know if I told her that I was going to get her. So I left thinking maybe she walked. That's pretty close to school. If I can't pick her up at school, that's where I tell her to. I drove the path she would have walked. I didn't see her. I got to the office. And she goes, no, it's a little too early. And I said, okay. Let me go drive back down and wait along the path she would walk and just wait. And I parked and I waited. I waited. I'm not sure how long I waited. Maybe somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes. She still wasn't there, and I looked at the time and I'm like, okay, she should be back at my mom's office by now. Maybe she took a different path and I didn't see. So I went, no, she's still not here. And I'm like, that's really strange. So I call. I don't know if I text or I call. I think I text her. And I asked, hey, or I called her. I asked, and she said, no, she didn't make it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? She was dropped off close to the school. She should have been in school. She goes, no, she didn't make it to first, second period. I said, please check with the rest of your friends see if she made it to any of her other periods. At some point in this, I emailed one of her teachers asking, actually emailed a few of her teachers and two of them responded. One of them said, no, she did not make it to class, and I checked her attendance for the rest of the day. She wasn't in school at all. Like, he sent me a screenshot of like her attendance, and it said 0, 0, 0.
You still have that on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
If you need to know what app, I'll tell you what app. It's a special school app. He said she was missing all day. And at this point, I start to panic and freak out because that can't be the case. She was dropped off. I had to go check her attendance at school, but the office had closed already. The lights were off. I could see a student sitting in there in the darkness, but I couldn't see any of the administrators or anybody in the office. Lights were off, everything was closed. They wouldn't allow me in.
So the other audio file I had goes straight into the CSA images. And I haven't heard them talk about that yet on this one. So I don't know if this one has more audio or if that's a different interview. Oh my gosh. And Jen said, I missed Jennifer crying about March 2nd being her worst birthday. She didn't cry about her daughter's birthday or disappearance. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, all of these things, it doesn't add up. It's like Jen said the other day, and we came to the conclusion of I don't think she cared about Maddie. She definitely cared more about Stefan than Maddie, and that's sick. I'm waiting to see if when they're gonna smack her with them images. Because I think in the other audio we heard about that first. So I don't know if the audio file is different than this one. So I might have to upload both of them. We'll have to see.
I think at this point, the teacher had responded to me and told me she didn't make it to school at all. I start having like a freak out panic attack.
Are you still just you at this point? Is it you and Stefan?
It's me and my sister. And I want to say one of them is Catherine. I start panicking, and I think at this point I call Stefan and I tell him, hey, because she didn't make it. She's absent today. There's no attendance of her at all today. I'm like, right now. And he said, okay, I'll be there. And he came to the office. And there for like 3 hours, I think. Eventually I contact one of my friends whose husband works, or ex-husband works for OCP, or for you guys.
Orange County Sheriff's Office?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I messaged him and I talked to him and I asked him what I should be doing because you guys aren't responding quick enough.
Would you know his name? Where he works?
Yes. Nick Mann.
Okay.
Or Mahon.
Do you know what he does here?
I think he works for SWAT.
Okay.
Sure.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
He tell you to wait.
I can't remember anymore. I think he let us know that there were other kids missing in the area, which is why you guys weren't responding quick enough. I think an 8 and a 9-year-old had gone missing around the same time too. In a playground, they forgot to tell. They didn't tell their mom they were going to the playground or something like that. So all the cops were over there on that side of Hunter's Creek. My sister's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever he is, thought it would be a good idea to go to the park and talk to a cop there and see if he could bring a cop back, and that's what he did.
Okay.
And then at that point, that's when the cops started asking us questions, taking a report. Interviewing me, they interviewed Stefan. They asked Stefan to take them back to the location where he dropped them off, and he showed them wherever he dropped her off. They were looking for cameras along the path, and I don't think they found any cameras along the way to see if there's any video recordings. I think.
Did Stefan go with them in their patrol cars, or did he drive himself and they followed? How did that work?
I think he went with them in the patrol car.
We know that she's definitely wrong. They found a lot of video cameras. Jenny says, I believe the first hour is getting her to answer the initial questions to see her responses again. Yeah, I think so too, because they like to go back through it and see if anything changes about their initial recalling of the events. So hopefully it's in here. I mean, I can't imagine it being a 3-hour interview without that part being in here. I really want to see her reaction. I hope I get to it today.
Then they came back. And then that's it. Everything was done. The cops were done. We were done.
What time? You remember what time that was on Monday?
It was after dark. We say 8 o'clock.
What did you guys go do after that?
We were in separate cars, me and Stefan.
Okay.
I ugly cried on the way home. I shouldn't have been driving. But I ugly cried on the way home, and I went straight home. And then the first thing I did was call Fox 35 News.
That ugly cry is like where you're just like bawling your eyes out, snot running down your face and stuff like that. That's what the term ugly cry means. But I don't think that she ever ugly cried unless it was over Stefan, in my opinion.
To see if we can air some missing children information out there.
When you say ugly cry, just overly emotional tears, makeup running, or is there what is your meaning of ugly crying?
Sobbing where I couldn't see the road and I shouldn't have been driving, like I was swerving.
Makes sense. Did Fox 35 come out to your house, or what was their response?
They responded the following day. I think we did a Zoom video interview.
Did Stefan follow you home?
I don't know if he followed me, but he drove home, yeah.
I mean, was it within a reasonable time when you got there?
Yes.
Okay.
Drove home. We waited there. We didn't know what to do. I stayed up late. I think I called Fox 35. What else did I do? I think I had to eventually eat and take my medication. He told me he was going to go out cruising that night to go look for her. And I said, I even questioned that. I asked him, are you sure it's a good idea? You should probably sit tight. Let's just wait to see if she comes home. And he said he was going to take a drive out. I had completely forgotten about him wanting to take the drive or that he actually did it. And it wasn't confirmed to me until the following day where agents came to the house and we sat in the car for a good amount of time. And I noticed the chair was adjusted. And I said, did you drive my car? And he said, yeah, remember I said I was going out last night. That's right, you did say that.
Can he tell you where you looked?
I think he said up and down 192. And I said, why there? And he's like, I don't know, I'm just looking. I was just trying to look anywhere. And I'm just like, okay.
Did he say if he found anything or talked to anybody, or just roamed?
Yeah, roamed.
when you were getting ready for bed, you were tired, emotional, were you falling asleep when he left, or were you already asleep when he left?
I was already asleep when he left.
Okay, did you sleep downstairs? Yeah. In your bedroom? When you woke up, was
Another great question. Jenny says, one thing that has bothered me is if we're supposed to believe that Jennifer is a top mom, like she claims, why would Madeline need to go to her aunt's workplace? That is a great question. She started a new job, so maybe she was trying to look good there. But from what we've been told by Stefan's parents, is that she gets Social Security, and she's more worried about that than anything. So, and she never keeps a job more than a week or two. So, like, I mean, it don't sound like she really gave a. I mean, it's not like her job was that important to her anyway, from what it sounds like. Jenny says it was all about Madeline, so wouldn't Jay be able to pick her up? I would think so. I mean, really, in all honesty. But again, I mean, actions speak louder than words, and Jennifer's actions state that she don't really give a crap for Madeline, in my opinion.
he already awake? Was he still sleeping?
He was asleep in his bedroom upstairs.
The guest bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take your medication that night?
I did.
What did you guys do Tuesday? Or just you? You guys, if you're not together, you're not together. What's the timeline on Tuesday?
Tuesday, he slept. I woke up early and started making phone calls to like the National Hotline for Missing and Exploited Children. I called the number that the sheriff's office had given me to see if they had any information, and they let me know that she was like the what did she say she was? I don't remember what she said her position was, but she had just gotten into the office and was just starting to work on it, so she didn't have anything new for me. Her name was Bonnie Mitchell. I remember that. She asked me to send her some photos. The National Exploited Children's Hotline place asked me for photos as well. I think at this point, I had asked my friends and family to start contacting news outlets to try to get as much attention on this as possible. I had a lot of phone calls coming in, and I was picking all of them up, hoping that any of them could help me. But it ended up being news reporters or people who had seen my phone on my phone number on a flyer and was trying to give me suggestions. Somebody letting me know that they took flyers all the way to Orlando International Airport and posted them all over the place in case she was being trafficked. They suggested that I go to Amtrak and Greyhound. I had my sister making all these runs for me. I didn't leave the house to do any of this.
Stefan's still asleep?
Yeah. Eventually, reporters come to the house and do an interview. And at this point, Stefan was awake. I did an interview with them, and then Stefan was crying in the background. And I said, Stefan, do you want to do the interview? You can if you want. And he sat in front of the camera and did an interview where he cried.
You know which news outlet that was with? I know there's a video on Fox 35
with
you
him
guys
sitting
appeared to be on like a webcam.
Yeah, that was Zoom. He was sitting in the
Zoom.
background for me.
Okay.
I know
but
that
you
one.
had in-person interviews with reporters?
Yes. I want to say it was Channel 9.
Okay.
Yeah, Channel 9.
And he spoke to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And he ugly cried in front of the camera too, so he was fucking fake sob crying.
Are you saying that now, or do you?
I'm saying that now. I didn't
Okay.
think that at the time. At the time, I thought he was truly heartbroken and back now that he had done all this shit to her. Like, I look back at shit now, I'm just like, he was fucking lying. He was fucking faking. What else has he been lying to me about? I know he's like a master liar and manipulator because he's done it to his parents, and he's told me and shown me the lies he's done to his parents. But I don't know why I never thought, not me.
The lies are about money, they're about where he's at, what he's doing, what's he
Yeah, all that.
to his parents.
Yeah, he's stolen money from his parents. They used to have a few $1,000s hidden in like a closet for emergency fund kind of thing. And during COVID, he stole like.
So she knows about the pictures, I'm assuming, and the I don't know. Jenny probably knows what she's lying about, but I'm guessing that she's already been hit with the pictures. I could be wrong though.
Like, he wanted RC cars. See, if he wants something, he's gonna get it. No matter what. So he wanted RC vehicles, the remote control cars, fancy ones. They were a few $100s, and I'm poor. I know I can't afford it, and he's showing up at home with these things. And I asked him, "Where are you getting the money from? Because we don't have this money." He goes, "Oh, my dad." And I said, "Your dad gave you money?" He goes, "No, I took some from his closet." And I was like they have an emergency stash? And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, he's gonna notice money's missing. And he's like, "No, he won't. It's so much money in there, he won't notice at all." I've confirmed with Chris later on that he did notice money, but he never asked his son. But I let him know, yeah, he was robbing you and just buying himself toys. He's also.
Now, Jenny, my moderator over here, called it out when we were trying to figure out why he went back to Northport, and she said maybe to steal from his parents or get some kind of money. And we find out now that, yeah, that's exactly what was going on. That might have been why he went to Northport the day that they were at the motel. It might not be, but it looks more plausible because we've just been notified that it was a normal thing for him. And like you're a grown-ass man, your parents are still supporting you, and you're gonna have the damn nerve to steal from them when they're giving you a place to live and supporting your ass, grown-ass man. And I mean, we saw him in the interrogation yesterday. That's a grown-ass man, gray hair and everything, still living at home with mama and daddy if he ain't with Jen. Like, that motherfucker, that is a narcissistic asshole, among other things, in my opinion.
He's also lied. Most recently, he lied to his parents about where he would be. He told them he would be at his friend's house playing video or board games or something like that, but in reality, he came all the way to Kissimmee to hang out with us.
Okay. But you guys were together Wednesday? After all the interviews, did he stay Wednesday? Would you? I know
Yes.
we had some detectives go meet you guys Wednesday, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Were you guys in the house together until detectives came?
Yes.
What kind of happened after detectives came?
See, I feel like everything starts to get blurry.
Oh, I get it. Trust me. We've been in this office for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, so I just don't remember what day I had conversation with you guys.
Tuesday night, Orange County detectives came out there because I ended up coming out Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember seeing me or not that night.
Okay.
That was the first night we were at the apartment into the nighttime.
Yeah, is that when you guys shut down the house for forensics?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us about that.
Okay. So earlier that day, I think Detective Hunt came, or somebody came, and asked Stefan for his cell phone. If he would willingly give it up so that they can look at it, or if they would need a warrant. And I remember him saying, "Should I have asked a warrant? Should I have?" And I'm like, "No, if you got nothing to hide, give him your fucking phone." And I think we hung out in the house for a little bit, and then when you guys came in the evening, and you guys told us to wait outside and we waited in my car, he started getting very anxious and very panicky, going, I want my phone back. I want my phone back. And I said, listen, at this point, it's their phone. It's theirs for fucking ever. I don't give a shit. We will buy you a new phone. It doesn't matter anymore. Whatever they need, they need. Like, let them look at it. And he's like, I just want my phone back. And I'm just like, are you trying to make yourself more suspicious? Because, like, if you were to go demand your phone back right now, that would.
Kitchen. I mean, I'm in the living room kitchen area, and there's a TV on behind me that the kids are watching. So I apologize for the background noise. But Jen, thank you for that. She said, I think the CSA pics were showed on February 27th or 28th when Stephen was arrested because Jennifer immediately told Chris they needed to get Stephen a lawyer. And we remember that from the other day going over Chris Stern's interview. So I'm thinking that we'll have to do where we listen to the audio file, because that's where it sounds like they hit her with the CSA images. And I'll have to upload that to YouTube as well, maybe after we listen to it. So maybe tomorrow we can go through and listen to the MP4 audio file that, from what I'm understanding, happened before this by a day or two. Thanks to Jenny, the best moderator ever.
That would look suspicious as fuck. Like, what are you doing? I'm thinking he's just getting impatient because he's bored and wants to play on his phone. And at one point, he takes my phone to start playing with it. I give it up. And I said, here, play on my phone. Have fun. Because I think from my phone, he was trying to log into his emails, but he couldn't. Because you need like 2-factor authentication from your own phone. And I'm just like, what are you trying to look at? And he's like, oh, my shipments, my packages. He's addicted to buying shit. That's another thing. Me and his dad couldn't figure out where Stefan was getting money from to buy stuff since he's been unemployed the last 2 months, but he's constantly buying himself packages, buying himself things off of Amazon, buying himself things off the line.
Is this stuff you can confirm, or you think he's doing this?
What?
Buying packages.
I can confirm because I am linked to his Amazon account, okay. And his parents can confirm whatever UPS packages or whatever he's getting at home. But I'm linked to his Amazon account. If you guys have my phone, you'll see whatever shipment. I think most recently I did like birthday party. If you see birthday party stuff, that was me. But everything else, him. He's constantly buying stuff and he doesn't have money. He keeps saying he's got money in his savings, but me and his dad call bullshit because he hasn't had, when he lived with us, he was struggling. His dad was helping him pay his bills, paying his rent, paying his gas, paying his insurance. Stefan was helping us, supporting us by buying food and all that stuff. But I don't know what he did with the rest of his money. And I don't know where he's getting money from now.
Okay. You were telling us that he was trying to log into his emails.
So he's trying to log into his emails on his phone. And I said, 2-factor authentication, you can't do anything. You're just going to have to wait till you get your phone back. What else? We waited in the car. I think at this point, when I noticed that forensics was locking down the house and you guys said we couldn't come back, I told him to call his dad. Because I had a feeling y'all knew something and it was going to come down on him. And I'm just like, they're focusing on the wrong person. They have the wrong person. In my head, I'm convinced you guys are that you had the wrong person. I wanted to think that he was good.
Before we get ahead of that, what is the conversation like between you two when you're in the car? Because y'all were in there for a good while we were trying to figure things out at your apartment complex or your condo. What's the conversation like inside that car?
trying to think back to what exactly we were talking about. I know I remember Layden.
I did just find an update where Elijah Vu's mother speaks out via her defense attorney and talking about a body found in reference to the Kentucky gunman. So right before I have to go, which will probably be at about 8:45, I will read over those articles and we can either finish the video tomorrow or y'all can find it on my YouTube. So I'm going to
Late in the evening, like when you guys let us know we couldn't come back, and I called his dad, or we called his dad. I started saying to him, like, I think they're focusing in on you. Like, we need to call your dad, and I think we need to get you a lawyer. I feel like they're focusing on the wrong person. And he kept saying the same thing. He kept repeating what I was repeating. That they're focusing on the wrong person. They're wasting time there.
How did he feel when you said he needs a lawyer?
He didn't believe me. Like, when I told him, like, don't you see forensics is closing down the house? They fucking know something, or there's something, like, they know something. Something's happening. They wouldn't be locking down the house this way if they didn't have suspicions of something. But I wasn't thinking, I don't know why I wasn't thinking him. Like, I was just like, no, they've got the wrong guy. He just kept saying that they have the wrong guy, that they're focusing on the wrong person and that we're wasting time and we call his dad. We tell his dad to come down here, and his dad did come down here and met us at a hotel. That was another thing. I don't have that much money. I live off of disability. I couldn't afford to put us up on a hotel. Like when you guys said that we couldn't return.
Yeah. I've got about 20 minutes left because I've got to jump in the shower and be ready to go at about 9:15. I'm thinking my time. My time is 8:22 here. And so I got to take a shower and get ready and leave at like 9:15. So as long as I get off by like 8:45, I should have enough time to do that real quick. I'm trying to stay as long as possible so we can get as much of this gone through as possible.
I was like, I didn't know where to go. I was trying to think of any family member would have a spare room or anything like that, and not that could take the three of us. When I say three of us, I mean him and the dog. And I know at my mom's house we wouldn't have been welcome. My mom does not like Stefan. She's never liked Stefan.
I wonder why.
So I knew that our only option was to go to a hotel, but I couldn't afford it. So we called Chris, and Chris met us at a hotel by Disney.
Okay.
Off of Western Way. And that's where we went. We got there pretty late. We checked in. I used the restroom, and I was getting ready for bed, or laying down in bed probably around 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, and I fell asleep. Stefan was already asleep at this point.
Did you go straight to sleep when you got in, or just kind of drifted off as you were falling asleep? Then you went to the bathroom and he goes straight to bed?
He was already in bed before I went to the bathroom. Okay. I was on my phone for a little bit. He was laying in bed snoozing. I went to use the restroom. I was in the restroom for quite a while because I had like a terrible sub. When I came back out, he was asleep. At least I thought he was asleep. But
His dad stayed with you guys?
Not in the hotel room. He stayed in a different room on the same floor.
Okay.
The following morning, I wake up, I think around 9 o'clock in the morning, and Stefan's not there. And I remember thinking, he left again without his phone and didn't tell anyone where he was going. That's suspicious as fuck again. Why is he trying to?
But we took his phone, so he got a new phone?
He didn't get the new phone until later that day, where his dad woke up, came to our hotel room, and then handed him a phone.
Okay.
And said, here, have this phone in the meantime until you get your old phone back.
Oh, so you're just saying he's out and about with no phone?
Yeah, he's out and about with no phone, so there's no way for us to contact him. There's no way for us to. I didn't know if he even knew how to get back to the hotel. Because I drove that night. He's a little oblivious to when it comes to directions. So I was just like, he couldn't even figure out how to get here. But he rolled in around 11:15. Rolled in with a cup of Wawa. And said, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just driving around. I grabbed some Wawa on 182 and got lost. I didn't know how to get back to the hotel. But I'm here now. And I'm just like, detectives are about to show up. What the fuck would have happened if they showed up and you weren't here? Like, you would have been a fugitive. Like, what are you doing? And he was just apologetic about not telling anyone where he went.
But I mean, he had a Wawa cup and he said he was up at 192.
Yeah, but in reality, I know that he truly took my car in the middle of the night to Northport, Florida, and was down there for an hour and came back. I didn't suspect that at all.
Okay.
I literally thought, I'm like, oh, this man, we were right next to like a a Target. So I'm thinking, oh, he's probably like stress shopping, just looking at stuff. He likes to browse. I was like, maybe he's in there somewhere. But I didn't have a car. I couldn't go out looking, right? And also, detectives were coming, so I didn't want to leave. Detectives eventually show up. Actually, we were in the hotel room for a while. He went back to sleep and slept. I took a little snooze for a little bit that morning, and then I got up, and then I went downstairs to the lobby, and I saw Chris. And Chris asked if I wanted some lunch, so we went to the hotel bar and ate some lunch. We brought up some lunch back for Stefan, told him to eat a little bit. When he woke up, he took like 2 bites. Then detectives showed up. We went downstairs. They let us know that there was a press conference happening, which we already had an idea was going to happen. And they told us they would give us a ride and escort us to the conference here, and that you guys would let us in the back way so that media wouldn't see us. But in reality, now I know that was just to interview guys with us. But
I don't find that
yeah,
amusing.
then we showed up here and got separated. Haven't heard from him since. Haven't spoken to him since. Have no interest in speaking to him at all. Yeah, that was it. Then we got interviewed.
What have you done since? Like, where did you go back to the hotel? Did you stay somewhere else?
No. So after the interview and all that stuff, Chris took me to my sister's house. I've been at my sister's house ever since.
Okay.
Yesterday, I went out for a little bit to go to Target to try to take my mind off of things. I went to Target to go get myself a toothbrush and deodorant, things that I didn't have because I left the house so last second. I also went to my ex-husband's wife's mom's house. It's complicated, but we're all friends.
So,
yeah. And they consoled me. They just kept me company. We made They made lunch. Then I went back to my sister's house, and I've just been pretty much there ever since. Now, when I went to Target, I decided like, oh shit, I shouldn't be out in public. People could recognize me. It can either be good or bad, what people could tell me. I've already had people recognize me in my community, and dealing with people's heavy emotions and them coming to me and crying and telling me they're so sorry and how they feel is so heavy because like I just have to kind of stand there and take their emotions and like I don't know, it's so heavy. When I realized that these are the interactions I was.
This gives me insight of like, I feel like she might have been like that with Madeline and Stefan. Like, I've got all of my own emotions and I can't take yours on too because it's just too heavy. Jen says, yeah, take your mind off your daughter missing. No doubt. I mean, exactly. I feel like she's just, her and Stefan, just concerned with themselves. No time for anybody else. She can't deal with the heaviness of everybody else's emotions. I mean, I think she should be grateful that people were being nice to her, considering what had been put out pretty much immediately after everything happened.
I was having in public. I'm like, I need to stay home because I just can't. I can't carry anyone else's emotions right now. I have my own to deal with, like my own. I don't want my own mental health suffering right now, or for me to spiral and end up back being hospitalized.
So when did you meet Steven or Stefan?
I met Stefan in 2017. We both worked for Eco Homes, a real estate company. I did appointments, and he worked in the office doing like warranty work. Um, we met as coworkers. We became really good friends. We were best friends for like a year. And then eventually I asked him if he wanted to hook up, and he said, sure. Um, and yeah.
You said 17, 18. Did you live in Orlando, Kissimmee? Where were you guys staying then?
Kissimmee.
And did you guys live together in 17?
He technically lived at his parents' house, but he was staying at my house all the time.
Okay. Same house you're in now or a different house?
Wait, I take it back. In 2017, he wasn't staying over my house. It started in 2018 when we started hooking up, and he started sleeping over my house.
Okay.
And what was your next question?
Was that in the current
Yes.
house you live in now?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in that house?
On and off, because at one point we moved close to where his parents live right now. They live in North Port Florida, Sarasota County. I lived in Port Charlotte, which is Charlotte County, the county right next door. We had an apartment there for like 6 to 8 months. We moved down there because, again, Stefan was promised a job and that fell through. So we supported ourselves in this tiny apartment for a little while until I ran out of funds.
Do you remember what year that was?
2020.
So when did you live in Port Charlotte in 2020?
I don't remember what month I moved in, but I remember moving out in November.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was some. April, May.
That's fine. It was something we can look up if we need to later. 17. In 2017. So 2018.
6.
6.
So this is redacted. That's not me. just so you know. And I don't want to skip it because I don't want us to miss anything.
At the same time, no. But
Okay.
I've had ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends live in that same house before.
Got it. You moved to Port Charlotte sometime in 2020 for a few months.
Yeah.
And then you came back to the same house.
After Port Charlotte, I went back to my mom's house for a little while
Where's that at?
in Hunters Creek, Florida.
Got it.
Even before Port Charlotte, actually, the few months before I was in Port Charlotte, I was living at my mom's house.
With Stefan.
Around March 20, decided he wanted to renovate the house and possibly sell it. So he told us to get out. So March 2020, so around COVID time, like 2 weeks after COVID was announced, I moved in with my mom.
Okay.
And I lived with her for a little bit. And then the Port Charlotte apartment happened. We moved to Port Charlotte, were there for a few months, came back to live with my mom, was there for a few months, and then I decided to move back. That he was moving out and like getting an RV and like living the RV life.
Yeah.
So he needed somebody to take care of the house for him. So I said, yeah, I would do it, of course. So I moved in. I moved into his bedroom, downstairs, the master bedroom. Eventually, Stefan did come. For a few years. It wasn't until like June of last year that
I wish they'd quit redacting.
I can go upstairs to the guest bedroom upstairs because I just he's not a very clean guy. He's kind of a little hoarder and like collector.
So Jenny, my moderator, I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert because I definitely not gonna have enough time to finish this. So she says towards the last hour, she throws out theories how Stefan did what he did, saying maybe he drugged her or choked her because there wasn't a mess. I thought she never went upstairs at all. So how would she know? Like she never went upstairs. How do you know? You know? And that's a good point. Yeah. So I don't know. It's all interesting. I mean, she could just be spouting theories, but how do you know there wasn't a mess if you didn't go upstairs, you know? It's a good question.
Collector. So just my house was always a mess and never the way that I wanted it to look. Or the clutter just gave me anxiety. So I asked him to move upstairs and he did. And he lived upstairs until until December of last year. And then he moved to Northport, Florida with his parents, but they had promised him a job, but that fell through. So we were in the process of trying to get him to come back up here to get his job back at Disney and for him to move back into the house for a little bit. I'm not sure long term. I know temporarily I was willing to accept him back.
Was that something out of convenience for him or because you?
A little bit of both. We missed him. And I wanted to help him out, like make it easy, like give him a place, like a base a base to start at, and then for him to start looking for something else afterwards on his own. But yeah.
You obviously relationship. Talk a lot? Is she a secretive teenager? What is like your kind of day to day with her?
I would have said a normal relationship. I asked, she would tell me. I didn't think she was hiding anything from me. I didn't think she was lying to me about anything, but obviously she had secrets.
I mean, the hindsight. I mean, all the stuff you found out over the past couple of days. We're like taking that out of the picture. Your relationship with her.
Okay.
Like not
say-
looking back saying, okay, I was being lied to. Like up until you found out some things that you've been told. You guys had an open communication relationship. You talk about
Everything.
life.
Yeah. If anything, she was a little bit more open with Stefan because she told him about a boy she had a crush on.
Okay.
And that his name was.
I'm again wondering if that's a possible motive or that she was pregnant. I think it's one of the two.
And she described him. And Stefan's like, "Are you aware that she has a crush on a boy?" I said, "No." He's like, "Yeah." She told me his name, that he's tall and that she likes his fluffy hair.
When was this? Remember when this conversation happened?
Within the last week sometime, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like so we saw, so within a week of that Sunday. I'm not sure if she had told him via phone chat. It must have been via phone, like phone convert, like we don't FaceTime, we Google Meet.
The Android
version of FaceTime, yeah. So we would Google Meet often. Sometimes when we get home from school, just talk all day, or sometimes not even talk all day. We would just bullshit. I would be doing my own thing. He would be doing. We're just keeping each other company on the phone. And I think in one of those conversations, she told him that she had a crush on a boy. But I checked those text messages with that boy, and nothing seemed weird either. So.
How did he? I mean, it could be new. I mean, she sees a guy at school. She thinks it's attractive. He shows her attention. I mean, she's young. How did he take it? Was he like? And I want you to think back before you know things you know now. Like, did he seem concerned about her? Did he seem excited for her? Like she's starting to, be a kid, have crushes and everything else. Like,
he seemed happy for her.
Okay.
He's like, "Yeah, did you hear this? This is super cute." And I was like, "Oh." She hadn't told me. And I wondered, I'm like, why didn't she tell me? Why did she tell him and not me? And like, I want to know who she got a crush on. But maybe it's because I told her she had a rule. She wasn't allowed to date for a few years.
Okay.
Until like, I think I had said 16 or something like that. But she wasn't dating.
So then your relationship with her was open. Obviously, she's a child. She's not going to share everything.
Yeah.
With him, it seems like she has a very open relationship with him. They talk, they hang out.
Okay, I'm going to have to pause this right here so that I can read the 2 news articles that I'm going to go over real quick and then jump in the shower. I do appreciate you being here with me today. If you're watching this on replay, I don't know, I haven't figured out if we'll continue this tomorrow simply because there's going to be the video is going to be uploaded on my YouTube, so you could go through it without listening to me, basically, which I'm sure what most people would rather do. So I might pull up the audio file tomorrow, and we might go over that. Actually, tomorrow I can't. I've got to go to town real early in the morning. I might try to get on here tomorrow evening. Usually on the weekends I try to go, or since it'll be Friday and I have to go to town, I'll probably try to come tomorrow evening and then come back Saturday morning if I have something, and then continue on with the mornings. For now, we'll look at, excuse me, the Elijah Vu situation. My moderator, Jenny, said he knew about her crush by looking through her phone while she was sleeping, in my opinion. I think so. I definitely think so. I think he went through all her shit because he felt like he could. All right, so this is from ABC 12, excuse me, 12, Wisconsin. Elijah Vu's mother reacts to the discovery of his skeletal remains in Manitowoc County. Christina Bauer is devastated by the most recent news. She is mourning the loss of her son, said Amber Gratz, Bauer's defense attorney. I think she knew. I know she knew. There's no way she didn't. So we'll watch this video. Maybe, possibly. Okay. Oh, of course, it's got to do an ad first. Well, those are some cute little doggies. Trying to skip it. Trying to skip it, man. All right.
Right, Deanna. Katrina Bauer shared the statement through her attorney within the last hour and a half. In that statement, it reads, quote, Katrina Bauer is devastated by the most recent news identifying the remains found as Elijah. She had continued to have hope that her little boy would be found alive. At this time, she's mourning the loss of her son.
Look at her there. And then we saw the pictures of her through her initial court date. She looks completely different. That is a beautiful young woman right there. And the court appearances are not that. They don't even look like the same person.
Bauer is in custody along with her boyfriend, Jesse Vang.
That's drugs. Jesse Vang was keeping her doped up, in my opinion. And that's why he was able to do what he was doing to Elijah. Abusing him, making him stand in the corner and just pray. I mean, it looks like two completely different people.
Vang charged with felony child neglect. A criminal complaint says Elijah spent time with Vang as, quote, punishment for bad behavior. And Bauer wanted Vang to teach Elijah, quote, how to be a man. Vang reported Elijah missing back on February 20th. There was no sign of the 3-year-old boy until September 7th, when a hunter found human remains near a quarry in rural Manitowoc County. The location just 3 miles from the apartment in Two Rivers where Elijah was last seen. Friday, Two Rivers police confirmed those remains do belong to Elijah.
I never met Elijah, but I watched that 3-year-old boy bring out the best in this community. Thank you, DCI, for continuing to lead this investigation.
Back out here live, Bauer and Vang have both pleaded not guilty to child neglect charges, but at this time, prosecutors have not filed any new charges against the pair.
Okay. So that was just recent, yesterday at the latest. So they don't have any new charges, but I'm sure they will. So it says the mother of missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu released a statement through her attorney Tuesday night after the Two Rivers Police Department identified his remains. Katrina Bauer is devastated by the most recent news, identifying the remains found as Elijah. She had continued to have hope that her little boy would be found alive. At this time, she is mourning the loss of her son, said Amber Gratz, Bauer's defense attorney. Bauer's in custody along with her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, charged with felony child neglect after Vang reported Elijah missing on February 20th. Nobody had seen Elijah until a deer hunter discovered human remains on September 7th near a quarry in the town of Two Rivers. A criminal complaint said Elijah spent time with Vang as punishment for bad behavior, and Bauer wanted Vang to teach Elijah how to be a man at 3 fucking years old. The pair have pleaded not guilty to the child neglect charges. Prosecutors haven't filed any new charges after Elijah's remains were found and identified. So that's all for that one. Now we've got the withdrawals. Exactly. Now we have our, let me pull it up, about the Kentucky gunman. And I want to be clear, I am not bashing her for any kind of drug problem she might have had. We all have a past. I've had a past You know, drugs happen. Unfortunately, it's a horrible part of our society. It's amazing to see how much she changed over that short period of time, because Elijah was like 1.5, maybe 2 in that picture, and she aged like 10 years in like a year. Um, but you know, I hope she gets help. If she did have some type of addiction, I hope she's over it now and gets some help for that. Um, like I said, everybody's had a past and had addictions and things, so I'm not bashing her in any way. It's just amazing to see the difference. So this says search for suspect in Kentucky highway shooting ends with discovery of body believed to be his. Because remember, he texted his baby mama and was saying, I'm going to kill a lot of people and then take my own life. And that would also explain why the heat sensing drones were not picking up on his location. Um, because they thought he was either hiding under rocks, or if you're deceased, you're not going to have any body heat coming out. So your body would be the same temperature as your surroundings, so it wouldn't show up. And that's probably why it took so long to find him. So we'll watch this and then I've got to go. I don't know why I have no volume. I think this is a 16-minute video, so I don't know if we will be able to watch all of it. I might have to reload it if we don't have audio.
Good evening.
Okay.
I'm Colonel Philip Burnett Jr. with Kentucky State Police Commissioner. I'd like to give you an update on the search for Joseph Couch. Today at approximately 3:30 p.m., London Post, KSP Post, was notified that 2 troopers and 2 civilians had found an unidentified body in the deep brush behind exit 49 in Laurel County. Troopers had been searching in the area all day and had noticed vultures in the area.
Okay. I'm gonna let this play. So if you're here and you're watching this, just after it finishes, I'm gonna have to go. So I'm gonna jump in the shower while this is playing, and then if you come here and nothing is playing, then just go ahead and exit, because that means the live is over. And when I get out of the shower, I can end the stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I've really got to hurry up.
They continued to try and locate the exact nature or the area that the vultures were circling in. They began at that time while they were in there, they began to detect a strong odor of what appeared to be a decomposing flesh, whether it could be animal or human. While moving through the thick terrain and trying to locate the smell, troopers heard voices, and the troopers immediately identified themselves in the woods. They identified themselves as state troopers and asked that the individuals that were also in the wooded area identify themselves. There was a couple, Fred and Sheila McCoy, advised the troopers that they were also in the area searching for Joseph Couch. Almost immediately after that interaction between troopers and the McCoys, the troopers and McCoys stumbled upon an unidentified body. At this time, we still have troopers and personnel out there processing the scene. There were articles associated with the body that at this time we feel is Joseph Couch. Laurel County Coroner is there present, and then the body, identified body at this time, will be sent to Frankfort for positive identification tomorrow. But again, we do have the articles associated with the body that we do feel is Joseph Couch. You know, I want to recognize the McCoys because they've been very cooperative with our troopers and provided troopers with relevant information. You know, this is still an active investigation, and we'll have more updates as we go forward with this. But, you know, I would like to acknowledge, you know, this, that we we're very confident that this brings to closure in the search of Joseph Couch. But again, I want to reiterate the partnerships that we had with everybody here. Laurel County Sheriff's Office, London PD, FBI, the Marshal Service, ATF, National Guard, U.S. Forest Service, Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, our prosecutors here in Laurel County. This was a collaborative effort to bring this to a successful conclusion. But the main thing that is very good tonight is that the people of Laurel County can rest easy, much easier, knowing that this manhunt has now come to a conclusion. Sheriff Rick, you have any comments?
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Sheriff John Rood. I'm the sheriff here in Laurel County, and I just want to reiterate a few things that I've said since day one, since we've been having these conferences. One, the last conference we had, I told you guys that I wouldn't change a thing that we've done so far, and I want the resources for these gentlemen that's on stage, that's here with me, some's not, has absolutely been, they went above and beyond in every effort. And London PD, Kentucky State Police, all you guys, you just don't know how I appreciate you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Since day one, my concern has been the residents of Laurel County. And I hope now that the residents, they know that this has been our number one priority, is the safety. We've had school cancellations. We've had church cancellations. People's been in fear. That's not the normal here in Laurel County. So now that this has been discovered, I hope that our county can get back to what's normal. I will say this. I'm very proud, again, I can't say it enough, of the effort that has been put in on this stage, the effort and the manpower that's been used. And I also want to reiterate what the commissioner said, the McCoys. Hey, congratulations, we're proud. Our one goal was to have this guy recovered. And I'll be honest with you, I've always said prayer for our victims. Let's have a prayer for for Joe Couch's family. They have worked with us. I don't care a bit to tell you guys through this investigation. We're doing the investigation end of it. I called KSP and other resources for the ground search. But through the investigation end, they have worked with us. Just everything that we have asked, they've done. And as we all know, you know, I have children of my own, and I hope and pray to God that they take the right path. And the family cannot be blamed for the misfortune that this guy has caused. And I really wish that we could locate Joe Smith and Joe Couch, and we would have had him live. We could have asked him what his intentions was. We could have put him through the courts. Prosecutors could have prosecuted him, and he'd have paid for what he done. I don't think nobody on this stage wished that we would have found him in the condition that we found. I'd rather he'd been alive and he could have paid for what he's done. In closing, I won't dare mention the people that has helped us in this, but not all the agencies. I mean, everything from a dispatcher to an ambulance driver, rescue squad, fire departments. I can't, all the agencies, I just want to thank. And I hope, my prayer is that Laurel County will rest easy and surrounding counties tonight. And I want to thank you, the media. You've covered it well. You guys are tired. We're tired. And hopefully we can go home to our families and get a good night's rest as well. And I thank you for the coverage.
Is there any questions? Yes.
Is there any indication right now how Couch or whoever this is killed themselves or how they died out there?
That's still part of the investigation, and we will confirm that with the autopsy of the medical examiner's office in Frankfort tomorrow.
Any weapon found there at the site?
Yes.
Can you tell us how far away from the shooting you found this body?
You know, we still have detectives out there in the scene processing, and I don't have that information there at this time.
If the body's identified as Couch, will
We did have confirmation that, yes, they will receive $15,000 from Laurel County Crime Stoppers and then $10,000 from a private donor.
Can you just talk about what it's been like, over 100 men trying to bring this in, and now it's come to a close?
Well, this is, obviously law enforcement, we want to bring any event like this as to a closure as quickly as possible. It's much better for everyone involved, the community especially, victims first, and then also for law enforcement. But sometimes these things take time, and that's what this one did. But this was about perseverance, that we did not give up. We adjusted our tactics, and there was we brought it to a successful conclusion.
Are you able to determine how long the body had been there?
Not at this time.
In the McCoy's video, it looked like they were alone out there, but there were troopers right there with them.
I have not seen the video. I just come in from headquarters in Frankfurt, but we did have troopers that were right there with them.
Are you able to specify any of the items that were found with the body?
I'm not. They're still processing that.
So you did say there was a weapon with the body.
That's correct.
What was the hardest part of the search?
Well, just, as we've said, the terrain has been treacherous. I mean, that is some of the most treacherous terrain that they are in Kentucky. And it was so vast, very hilly, and it was still so thick. I mean, the cover there was so thick, you just could not basically see just a few feet in front of you. So that was the biggest thing.
Can you just talk about the exhaustion, the blisters, the time away from home, and what it's going to mean for all that to stop now?
Well, I can tell you that, our officers and troopers and agents, they'll be glad to have a little bit of downtime because they've dedicated so much of themselves since this began, being away from their family, adjusting their schedules. But, again, that's what public servants do. And that's what everybody here does. We want to serve the public, and our families realize that. So we want to put forth our best efforts, and I feel like that's what everyone did here. And again, when you talk about partnerships and talk about a large event, when you see everybody up on this stage, and I've been a trooper for 29 years, and I don't know that I've ever seen everybody here together on an event that I have been personally involved with, prosecutors, state, local, and federal partners. But this is the way this should be if we do have to encounter an incident like this.
Looking back, any regrets?
No, I feel like we put forth our best efforts. Everybody did. And every day that we worked, we would meet to make sure collectively, this group, that we were doing everything possible that we could to bring this to a quick conclusion as possible.
What made you all decide to search back in that area today?
Excuse me?
What made you all decide to search in that area?
It's where we had transitioned troopers and other personnel and officers and deputies from the force. They were out working in the 49 area. And then we observed those vultures. And then that was one of the things that we said early on that, may be a clue for us to see and look into. And that's exactly what happened. That's how that he was located.
Given all the efforts and the resources you've put towards this over the past 12 days, how do you wrap your head around the fact that this couple who kind of had a date night idea to go out and find couch ultimately got to him?
Well, just like we said earlier, Mother Nature will help and aid and assist in a search like this. And this is what happened. You had high temperatures, and then you had the vultures coming out. So time was on everyone's side with this. Not to take anything away from McCoy's, because we appreciate their efforts, but time did help with this search.
Just a clarification on the reward money. You said $15,000 from Crime Stoppers, $10,000 from private donor.
I think $15,000 from Laurel County Crime Stoppers and $10,000 from a private donor.
I thought originally the amount that it's quoted as $35,000.
That was the last information that I was given.
In the last 12 days, Anything more on motive? Have you all discovered anything that might have been the reason for him to do what he did?
At this time, we focused on the manhunt. Sheriff Root and his department focused on the actual investigation dealing with the shooting.
Well, and to answer you, sir, in the weeks forthcoming, soon after, it's still an open investigation. KSP will be at the autopsy when it's scheduled, and after that's done and investigators are together, we will release that. We do have evidence, but right now we're just going to compile it all, and they will be answers to that question. We'll probably have another one and let you guys just know what we got and move on.
Sheriff Root, you mentioned, prayers for Couch's family. Do you want to elaborate on that at all? I mean.
Yes, I want to elaborate on that. I sure will, sir. The Couch family has worked with us every step of the way. I have children. I have grown children. And, I think tonight, I don't think they're doing nothing wrong, but do I know if they do something wrong, is it my fault? No, you raise your children the way that you want them to be. He did an act that I do not approve of. And I honestly don't think his family approves of it. But yes, as a family, as his mother and brothers and friends of him, I don't think they agree with what he did, but still, yet that's their blood and that's their family. And yes, I will iterate, want prayers for the victims, also prayers for that family. He's a human being, and I wish we could have took him alive. It just so happened that we didn't.
You've been complimentary of the McCoys. Were there any other private citizens who were a hindrance to your efforts or got in the way?
Not that I can speak specifically to. But, we do worry about such things when we have an event like this. We do worry about their safety because we still don't know if he was alive. So we would worry about the safety of anyone that may try to do such actions in the future for their safety. Any other questions?
You mentioned the rough terrain. Are you able to describe the exact area where he was found, what that was like?
I do not have that yet, but they will, again, they're out there processing that. They're right there with the body right now, but I don't have that exact location at this time.
Can you just come over the next steps? What happens tomorrow? You said the body goes back to Frankfurt, right?
That's correct.
After that, what happens?
Well, we'll do the autopsy, and then we'll process what evidence and articles and everything that we located in that area. And obviously by locating there, we'll be able to do a more refined search right there close to that area. And then we'll take that into our investigation and go forth from there. Okay.
Are you able to specify the weapon that was found?
I am not at this time. Okay, we want to thank the media through all this. I know this has been enduring as well. So we want to thank you for your support and be able to, put what information out there to help, help ease the minds, of the community. Thank you.
All right, and with that, I'm going to end the stream. I do want to thank everybody that was here. I thank Jenny, my moderator. Awesome. Best moderator ever. And I hope everybody has a lovely day. Please watch the YouTube channel for video uploads because I will have those out soon. I hope you all have the best day you've ever had in your whole entire life. And I will see you tomorrow, probably in the evening, but tomorrow nonetheless. Have a good day.